Joining me now is Israeli Deputy Foreign Minister Sharren Haskel. Sharren, welcome. What more can you tell us about this potential deal?
Well, on Monday, Prime Minister Netanyahu is going to go to Washington and he's going to speak to President Trump a little bit more in depth about the details. But it's important to understand as well. We said yes to a ceasefire 3 months ago with the Witkoff proposal. Then he put another proposal that goes further a few steps towards Hamas's demands. Israel said yes to that as well. Only 3 weeks ago, he put the third proposal that took a few steps further towards Hamas's demands, and Israel said yes again. Our goal is not a war. Our goal is to bring back our family members as quickly and as safely as possible. And the problem is that Hamas continues to refuse and to say no.
So, in your view, then, do you think there should be a ceasefire or not?
Well, yes, there could have been a ceasefire 3 months ago. But the problem is that we are facing not a logic person or a logic entity with values similar to me and you who cherish life. We are standing against a terrorist organization, a death cult, where its highest achievement is death, martyrdom. And so if that's their goal, it is very, very difficult to speak to them, to negotiate with them. This is very complex. And so the reasonable logic of me and you can't count on Hamas to have the same logic. And that's what makes it far more difficult. But we've seen before President Trump putting so much pressure, whether it was on Hamas or on Hezbollah or on Iran. So I have confidence in trying to break through this time towards that ceasefire.
Of course, this meeting you mentioned before between Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, and Donald Trump at the White House next week, I think it's their third meeting. Of course, we had some strong words from the President to Netanyahu last week about Israel and Iran, and then had a phone conversation that ended up in planes being turned back. On what terms do you think they will be speaking?
Well, look, it hasn't been easy for Israel. Throughout many of these ceasefires, we had to make a lot of concessions. Every time there's a ceasefire in Gaza, we have to withdraw our troops. It means that the terrorist organization Hamas is taking more and more positions that we've already cleared from the terrorist organization. It means that later on, our soldiers have to go back in to the same area they've already cleared, risk their lives. Sometimes we've lost the lives of our soldiers because of that. Just in the last ceasefire, Gaza was flooded with humanitarian aid that was delivered through the terrorist organization Hamas. And you need to understand that humanitarian aid, there was billions, millions of dollars that went into the pockets of Hamas because of that. It means it was the first time they could pay salaries to all of their terrorists for the first time since the 7th of October. With that money, they recruited new terrorists to fight Israel. And so when we speak about concessions that we need to make, it is difficult. It's not easy, but we're willing to do that in order to first bring back our family members back home. They are being held in the dungeons of torture of Hamas. Look, when in Hebrew, when you cheer, with the glasses, with wine, you cheer to life. Israel is about life. Our culture is about life. It's about protecting our children. And so, our goal is to make sure that our children can live here safely and securely, not just us, but to create stability in our region so that we have prosperity and peace among everybody.
Sharren, we've run out of time, but I was going to talk about these satellite images now coming out of Iran, that they're building a new road into the Fordow uranium enrichment facility. It seems that they're going in there to assess the damage, so we shall see what comes out of that. Sharren Haskel, thank you for joining me tonight.